So welcome back everyone, Mike here. It is December 26th, day after Christmas. First day of Flinch lock season here in Pennsylvania. My buddy Greenie and his brother Tim, they're on their way over. I'm going to head out to the mini cabin. We got another 3 inches of snow last night. It's cold too, it's about 13 degrees. Here's some fresh tracks right outside the gate here. They come into this section of woods at night for all the acorns. We had a bumper crop of acorns this year. But yeah, there's tracks all over the place now. They were moving all through here last night. Actually early this morning, because it's just quit snowing a little bit ago. But it is a beautiful morning. And this is all tore up. This is just from a couple hours ago. All right, almost out here to the mini cabin. I've crossed probably 15 sets of tracks. Now a lot of them could be the same deer, but they were definitely moving around this morning. I didn't want to carry a shovel all the way out here. All right, out here in the mini cabin, got the Big Buddy heater running, which is good because it's windy this morning as well. It is cold. Probably what we'll do, once my buddies get out here, we'll sit for an hour or two, and then I'll walk down by the brick house, which is probably, I don't know, 1,200 feet or so, 1,500 feet that direction out there. I'll walk the road all the way out around. Then I'll take a stroll up through this valley right here and maybe get something moving around. We'll see how it goes. This is shaping up to be a pretty rough winter around here as far as snow. We don't normally get a whole bunch of snow. I mentioned the other day, I think our average is 45 inches a year. And so far, we're not even to January yet, and we're probably about 30 inches. I can just see my buddy Greenie over there. He's on his way out. All right, my buddy Greenie, he's in the mini cabin. I'm going to go back towards the house and then loop around, see if we can get a few deer moving. But man, it is cold today. All right, haven't seen a single deer yet. Lots of tracks from a couple hours ago. I think they're moving around at night. But it's a nice day to be out here. If you go down this valley in front of us, then there's a flat piece up on top. And then another valley, the mini cabin would be like that direction. All right, I'm on the other side of this valley now. I was just over there. I'm gonna walk around here. I'll be up behind the brick house here in another 150 yards or so. Seeing tons of deer tracks. All right, I don't know if you can see it or not, but down the bottom of that hill there's the brick house. But I was just thinking, this is a good opportunity here to talk about something. I always get comments. I literally 15, 20 a week since I started this channel asking, do I ever replant trees? Because people see us cutting down trees all the time. Most of them are dead. Sometimes I do cut some live trees down. But no, we do not replant trees around here because there's no need to. And this is a good example of that right in here. This whole area in here was a field probably 50 years ago. There's no real big trees in here. You know, there's some decent sized maples, but this is just what happens around here. Starts off you know, say you quit farming, becomes all overgrown with briars and brush, and then the trees start growing. And that's what happened here. It just happens. There's some oak, cherry, and maple in here. Eventually, if you never do anything with it, it'll probably all be oaks at some point. Be like that area down by the pond, you know, big oaks with big canopies, and then that kind of crowds everything out. But like I said, about 50 years ago, this was a farm field. These hollies are a pretty neat tree. We have them all through here. Straight ahead about 150 yards or so. That's what we call that maple grove down in there. Real nice spot. But anyway, the mini cabin's up there. I don't know, about 1,200 feet or so. I'm going to start working my way across this ridge here. There's one way over across that valley. Alright, we've been out for a couple hours. All we've seen so far are those two that I showed earlier. Right now I'm going to walk out this ridge here in front of me. And my buddy Greenie, he's headed over to the scenic overlook over that way. With all the snow, you would think it'd be real easy to see the deer, but it's sticking to all the limbs so bad, it's actually pretty tough. I got a double ladder stand in that white oak right there. I got several deer out of that stand. There's a really nice red oak right there. When I bought this property 26, 27 years ago, they did like a select cut on it. It was kind of a mess, you know, when they left, but it was actually real good for the deer. I had a stand down in a tree down there. I'll show you that in a minute. I've showed that in other videos, but I used to climb up in that stand, and it was real thick, but out on this ridge here you could see down in the valleys real well, and you'd always see deer. There's a couple over there across the valley. I just screwed up. They're a little smarter than I am. I was right there by that old tree stand. Took a few steps down over the hill there in front of me, and they bounced out much quicker than I am. And with these flintlocks, you need to make sure you have a good shot. Alright, we got back in from hunting about 2 hours ago, and then I had a few things to do in the house, and then the hunt man and I, we went and did some running around. But next on the agenda, I'm going to do some plowing. Like I said, we got probably another 3 inches of snow overnight, and I also need to push things back a little bit. The problem is, you know, the day before Christmas, it was 40 degrees or something and rained all day long. Then we got that snow, Christmas Eve, then all through Christmas, 6 or 8 inches, not a ton of snow, and then another 3 inches last night. But all this snow kind of works as a big layer of insulation on top of the ground. So the ground is not frozen yet, even though today's only about 15 degrees so far. But we had a pretty good morning hunting. We didn't get anything. I saw 7 deer total. I think they were all doe. 2 of them, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, I walked right up on them about 15 feet away. I didn't see them. They didn't see me till the last minute. They jumped up, took off running, and basically we just kind of scared each other. But that was a pretty cool experience. Using those flintlocks, you know, you need a good shot. You do. I shoot a 50 caliber, and I don't know, you got that delay when you shoot. You just have to have a good shot. So I'm not going to shoot a deer running with a flintlock. It wouldn't end well. But every time I'm out in the woods, especially when I'm out muzzleloader hunting with a flintlock, I can't help to think back to you know, the early settlers and the pioneers and the hunters and the trappers, just how tough those people had to be. You know what I mean? I'm out there hunting in a mini cabin with, you know, big buddy heater, got all the good gloves, the boots, you know, plenty warm once you're inside. But I got out and hiked around for about a mile or so, and I was cold. I'll admit it. And I couldn't imagine having to go out in the woods thinking to yourself, you know, I need to get something right now for our family to eat for dinner tonight. I mean, those people were tough back then. They really were. They're trying to fight wars with those old flintlocks, just amazing. And this time of year would just be brutal. I couldn't imagine what that would be like. But I have to admit it, we're getting soft as a people, I think. I don't think too many people could handle what they were able to handle back then. We live in an area right here, the road that we live on, it's called it's Washington's Trail. And years and years ago, George Washington was here long before he was president, and he was a surveyor, and he hiked through here. Matter of fact, just a couple miles from here, there's a monument where some Indian took a shot at him and missed. But there was Washington, I can't remember the other guy that was with them, and they had a helper. He was like a young kid, 14 years old. And I was reading this book one time, and I don't know how long he was with them, a year or two or whatever, and they're surveying through this area, and the kid had to go home. He was 14, and he just walked home from here to Virginia. You know what I mean? We get worried about our kids walking down the street. I just couldn't imagine what it was like back then. But yeah, it was a good time today, and it makes you just kind of think back of how good we have it. Like I said, the nice gloves, the boots, you know, the chainsaws, all this stuff that we have, tractors that they didn't have back then. And you know, a lot of the things that I do around here, it's just, I like doing it. You know what I mean? I do. They had to do everything like that just to survive, and it was a tough breed, they really were. But anyway, next on the agenda, like I said, I'm going to do some plowing, knock that out. And then I'll probably head back out to the mini cabin there before dark and sit for an hour or two, and we'll see what happens. All right, I got all the driveways done. I think what I'm going to do next is head in the house and get warm for a little bit. Then I'll head out to the mini cabin and sit for the last couple hours before it gets dark. If anything exciting happens, I will include that in the next video. Before I wrap this video up, I had a question for you guys. Do you have a flintlock season in your state? I'm not sure if all states do or not. You know, we have an inline season. It's early on. I've never gone inline muzzleloader hunting. I don't have one. But we're big into the flintlock thing, and our season lasts from the day after Christmas. I'd have to check. It's at least till like January 15th or January 20th, something like that. But a lot of guys really get into it around here. All the traditional outerwear, and you don't have to wear fluorescent orange in muzzleloader season. So a lot of guys around here hunt. Looks like they're back in the late 1700s, early 1800s. They really get into it. I just look at it as another opportunity to get out in the woods and maybe harvest a deer. Like I said, I got a buck in rifle season. I'm out for a doe right now. But I mentioned earlier, man, you can't screw around with those things. You have to have a good shot. And I don't practice enough with one of those things. I shoot, you know, a little bit before the season. The whole key is don't flinch, because there's such a delay from when you pull the trigger. You get the big flash in your face, and then boom. But there's a big delay, and a lot of things can go wrong in that half a second or whatever it takes for your gun to go off. So let me know in the comments. Do you have a flintlock season, if you guys do it or not? If not, I highly recommend it. It's a great time of year to be out in the woods, although it is cold. But anyway, like I always say, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and share them with your friends. Thanks. There's 5 or 6 down there. Way too far for the smoke pole. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a buck. Not a real big one. He kind of headed my way, but he may follow those doe. I'm not sure. I already got a buck, so he'll probably walk right up here in front of me.